My Lord, I seek your Lordship's permission to open the proceedings. The proceedings are open. Now I request the honorable dignitaries to address the esteemed gathering according to their respective turns.
My Lord, Honorable Mr. Justice Sanjay Kumar Mishra, Acting Chief Justice of Uttarakhand High Court, Honorable Mr. Justice Manoj Kumar Tiwari, Senior Judge, their esteemed companion judges, President High Court Bar Association, Senior Advocates, Assistant Solicitor General, my colleagues on government side, Registrar General, members of the registry, members of the bar, ladies and gentlemen. Sir, we have assembled here to bid farewell to Honorable Mr. Justice Narayan Singh Dhanik on his superannuation as a judge from this honorable court. Moments of farewell are normally painful. As a result, throat gets choked. One does not get words to express his emotions, but the cruel rule of duty always dominates over the tender feelings. His Lordship joined the State Judicial Service and started his career as Munsip in Pilibhit, Uttar Pradesh. His Lordship, after creation of State of Uttarakhand, opted for Uttarakhand and was honoured being posted as District Judge in District Rudraprayag, Bageshwar, Nainital, Haridwar and Dehradun. His Lordship remained Secretary of Lokaयुक्त as well as Legal Advisor of His Excellency, the Governor of the State of Uttarakhand. His Lordship took oath as a permanent judge in the High Court of Uttarakhand on 3rd December 2018. His Lordship will be remembered in the legal fraternity as a role model of honesty and simplicity. Sir, we wish you and your family a very good health and prosperity in life. But since we belong to this land which is abode of God, and since this is a part of our cherished culture, that whenever we bid farewell to our beloved, we pray Almighty to make his path free from all trouble. I follow the same tradition by expressing my emotions through this Vedic verse, Jivema Saradam Satam.
Honorable the Acting Chief Justice of High Court of Uttarakhand, Honorable Mr. Justice Manoj Kumar Tiwari, Senior Judge, Honorable Mr. Justice Sharad Sharma ji, Honorable Mr. Justice Dhanik Saab, Honorable Mr. Justice Verma ji, my respected Advocate General, the Registrar General of the High Court of Uttarakhand, all law officers of the High Court, my senior colleagues and all colleagues at the bar. Manoj, today we are assembled here to bid farewell to the Honorable Mr. Justice Narayan Singh Dhanik, who is demitting the office today after rendering distinguished services of this court for more than 3 years. I can say without any hesitation that the retirement of Justice Dhanik, the bench and bar of the High Court of Uttarakhand will be missing amongst us a brilliant and illustrious judge. Justice Dhanik was born on 25th of May 1960 in village Puwana, district Almora, Uttarakhand. Did his intermediate education from Sarvodaya Inter College, Janti, Almora, and thereafter graduated from Rajkiya Mahavidyalaya, Almora. After doing LLB from Lucknow University, joined PCSJ in the year 1985. His first posting was as Munsip in Pilibhit, Uttar Pradesh. After carving out the state of Uttarakhand on 9th of November 2000, opted for the Uttarakhand and thereafter remained posted as district judge in district Rudraprayag, Bageshwar, Nainital, Haridwar, Dehradun. Remained secretary to the Lokayukt as well as legal advisor to His Excellency, the Governor of the state of Uttarakhand. Took oath as permanent judge of High Court of Uttarakhand in the forenoon of 3rd of December 2018. A tremendous, and he rose up to the position of High Court judge with all difficulty in hill area, all education. That's a tremendous achievement, and we are grateful to your Lordship. A judge is required not only to faithfully interpret and apply law, but is equally essential for him to be conscious of the social realities of the world and to decide the case fair and wisely. My Lord, contribution to this honorable court would always be remembered and cherished by the members of the bar. His Lordship has a deep attachment to Uttarakhand and to the people of state. We, the members of the bar, have no words to express our gratitude for the services rendered by your Lordship to the people of the state. Moments of farewell are always painful, but at the same time, such occasions are remembered as rememberable of sentiments and relation. I, on behalf of myself, on my own behalf, and on behalf of the members of our association, take this opportunity to extend my gratitude years to come and wishing him a very new start to a new chapter of life, my lords, hereinafter.
Honorable Mr. Justice Narayan Singh Dhanik, gracious Lady Srimati Janaki Dhanik and the family members, my esteemed brothers on the bench, the family members of other esteemed colleagues, Mr. Yashan Babulkar, the learned Advocate General for the state of Uttarakhand, Mr. G.S. Sandhu, the learned Advocate General and the learned Government Advocate for the state, Mr. C.S. Dava, the learned Chief Training Counsel for the state, Mr. Rakesh Thapliyal, the learned Assistant Solicitor General of India, Mr. A.S. Dava, the President of High Court Bar Association, Mr. Vikas Bahuguna, the Secretary, High Court Bar Association, learned Senior Advocates, learned members of the bar, the learned members of the Registry of the High Court, the staff of the High Court, members of the print and electronic media, ladies and gentlemen. We have assembled here today to bid farewell to Honorable Mr. Justice Narayan Singh Dhanik on his demitting office as a judge of the High Court of Uttarakhand. Born on 20th May 1960 in the village of Phubha-Una, district Almora, Brother Justice Dhanik had his schooling in Sarvodaya Inter College, Jayanti, district Almora, and graduation from Rajakiya Mahavidyalaya, Almora. After obtaining law degree from the Lucknow University, Brother Justice Dhanik joined judicial service in the year 1985 and was posted as Munsip in Pilibhit in the state of Uttar Pradesh. On the creation of the state of Uttarakhand on 9th November 2000, Brother Dhanik opted for the services in the state of Uttarakhand and since then remained posted as district judge in districts of Rudraprayag, Bageshwar, Nainital, Haridwar and Dehradun. Owing to his legal knowledge and experience, Justice Dhanik also held key posts of Secretary to the Lokayukt as well as legal advisor to His Excellency the Governor of Uttarakhand. Considering his high sense of integrity and his erudite knowledge of law, on 3rd December 2018, Brother Justice Narayan Singh Dhanik was elevated as a judge of the High Court. During his tenure as judge for the last 3.5 years, Brother Justice Dhanik has disposed of as many as 6,441 main cases and 10,499 miscellaneous cases. Brother Justice Dhanik has authored many landmark judgments which adorn the law journals and will guide the legal fraternity for all times to come. His judgment dated 24th September 2021 in Naresh Pandey versus State of Uttarakhand, criminal writ petition number 1383 of 2021, is known for his interpretation of the police regulations. The petitioner therein had filed the writ petition praying for quashing of history sheet. The question which came up for consideration before the court was whether the respondent were justified in continuing with the surveillance and opening of history sheet under Regulation 228 of the Police Regulation against the petitioner. So the court took note of the fact that the police regulation indicates that a history sheet be opened only for persons who are or likely to become habitual criminal and abettors of such crimes, and for criminals under surveillance. The court held that it is more important to open history sheet on conviction rather than on mere suspicion. In the judgment dated 28 December 2018, in Mahendra Singh versus State of Uttarakhand, criminal misapplication number 2024 of 2018, while interpreting section 320 of the Code of Criminal Procedure, his lordship held that although non-compounded offences cannot be compounded by a court, however, if there is a genuine compromise between husband and wife, criminal complaints arising out of matrimonial discord can be quashed even if the offence is not compoundable. Accordingly, the court held that since the dispute has been settled between the parties, no useful purpose will be served if the proceeding under section 498A of the Indian Penal Code and section 4 of the Dowry Prohibition Act are allowed to continue. The judgment dated 16 March 2022 in Jasmeet Singh versus State of Uttarakhand, criminal division number 218 of 2021, is based on interpretation of 319 of the Code of Criminal Procedure. Therein, his lordship held that in order to exercise the power under section 313 of the Code, a case more than prima facie is needed to be presented to summon a person during a trial. While sitting in division bench, the judgment dated 2nd of March 2020 in Priti Saxena versus Uttarakhand, criminal appeal number 82 of 2014, his lordship is known for the interpretation of section 376 of the Indian Penal Code vis-a-vis promise to marry. In the said judgment, it was held that prosecutors being mature and intelligent working women bringing up a child of 11 years of age cannot be so naive as to get into an intimate physical relationship with a man merely because of 2021, whereby police protection was granted to a gay couple in a living relationship, observing that individuals who are mature have a fundamental right to choose their partners despite the opposition voiced by their family members. All the above judgments are must read for every student of law. Moreover, serious, spanning over 36 years, the judgment pronounced by him would continue to guide us through the difficult and complex legal issues. Knowing Brother Justice Dhanik, he is not want to rest his oars or bask on the past glories. Brother Justice Dhanik would continue to serve the people of the state of Uttarakhand, though on a different role as the chairman of the State Police Complaint Authority at Dehradun. So I am sure he will continue to work and will continue to contribute substantially both to the legal fraternity in the particular and the society in general. I, on my behalf and on behalf of all my brothers, wish Brother Justice Narayan Singh Dhanik and his family a happy, joyous, peaceful, prosperous, healthy and very comfortable life in the decades to come. Thank you.
My Lord Shri Justice Sanjay Kumar Mishra, the Acting Chief Justice, my esteemed brothers judges, Shri S.N. Babulkar, Learned Advocate General, Shri G.S. Sandhu, Learned Government Advocate, Shri C.S. Rawat, Learned Chief Standing Counsel, Shri Rakesh Thaplial, Learned Assistant Solicitor General, Shri Avatar Singh Rawat, President of the High Court Bar Association, Shri Vikas Bhaguna, Secretary of the High Court Bar Association, learned senior advocates, members of bar, learned Registrar General, other registrars, officers, and the staff of the registry, family member of my brothers, judges, ladies and gentlemen. I am deeply touched and overwhelmed by the kind word that you have all expressed today for me. I convey my gratitude to all of you. Today, an important chapter of my life is coming to an end. However, there is a whole new chapter of life awaiting me. Having discharged judicial function for almost 35 years, today is my last day in office, and it is the time to take blessing from all of you. It was a long journey spent very quickly. I was born in an agriculture middle class family in a small village in Almora district, and somehow I managed to pursue my education. My parents taught me courtesy and humility, which always remained my GPS and compass to pursue the path of my life. As we all know, judiciary is one of the four pillars of the functional democracy, and without doubt, it is the strongest of the four pillars. Judiciary ensures that the government of the day is of the people, by the people, and for the people. Constitution is our title deed of authority and power to create an independent and fearless judiciary. The greatest strength of judiciary is the faith of people in it. On my part, I tried my best to live up to the exceptions and to keep this faith intact. Though my tenure is in the High Court was short but full of satisfaction, during my tenure, we all also saw an unprecedented severe situation and suffering on account of COVID-19 pandemic. However, it all sailed through because of the cooperation of the members of the bar and bench and the officers of the registry. While working in the High Court, I had the honor of sitting in the division bench with my Lord Mr. Justice Ramesh Ranganathan, the then Chief Justice. I was amazed at his legal acumen, literacy, excellence, and hard work. I could think of no other judge who could match the performance. I also had honor to sit in the division bench with my Lord Mr. Raghavendra Singh Chauhan, the then Chief Justice of this court. His Lordship had a vast legal knowledge and experience, and I gained a lot from him. I also feel fortunate to be on the bench with my Lord Mr. Justice Ravi Malimat, the then acting Chief Justice of this court, who brought a lot of reform to this institution in a very short time. I feel privileged to be on the bench with my Lord Mr. Justice Sudhanshu Dhulia, the then senior judge of this court, and at present the judge of the Honorable Apex Court. I learned many facets and law from His Lordship. I also feel privileged to be on the bench with Honorable Justice Sanjay Kumar Mishra, the acting Chief Justice of this court. I learned a lot from the legal wisdom of my Lord. Where will I find the simplicity, grace, and commitment as of Brother Justice Manoj Kumar Tiwari, the punctuality and hard work as that of Brother Justice Sharad Kumar Sharma, simplicity and sincerity of Brother Justice Ramesh Chand Khulve, that the legal expertise and vast administrative experience and frankness of Brother Justice Ravindra Dhanik and the dedication and punctuality of Brother Justice Alok Verma. Having been carved out from the state of Uttar Pradesh on 9th November 2000, Uttarakhand get a new High Court, and in a very short of span of time, it quickly adapted and become at par with the other states. We have a bar of highly competent and dedicated performance respecting their colleagues and the court, superbly serving their clients, both rich and poor, giving much to their community and the general having to time of their life every day. I thank each and every member of the bar for their cooperation. For young lovers, it is my advice to you to keep a strong belief in yourself and never surrender to any bad situation. I acknowledge the invaluable services rendered by the Registrar General, other registrars, management officer, public relation officer, and protocol officer. I am also thankful to medical officer Dr. Lalit Mohan Singh Rawat, Dr. Ganesh Shankar, and pharmacist Mr. Lalit Prasad Dhodia for taking good care of my health. I also acknowledged the invaluable service rendered by my personal staff, Mr. Prabodh Kumar, my private secretary, Ms. Avneet Kaur, Ms. Shiksha, and Mr. Ravi Vist, my personal assistant, Mr. Kailash Giri, my bench secretary. I received full cooperation from Mr. Kripal Singh Taragi, my driver, Mr. Nandlal Sahu, Alice Badrangi, and Mr. Shivnath Goswami, my Jamadar, and Mr. Kripal Singh Mehta, and Mr. Bhupal, my PSOs. The staff addressed at my residence, Mr. Sukhdev Rawat, Mr. Harshmani Velwal, Mr. Lakshman Singh Negi, Rajesh, they took great care of my and my family. I thank all of them. I enjoyed complete cooperation from my wife, Mrs. Janki Dhanik, my daughter, Ms. Hema Rawat, Ms. Rajni, Ms. Bhavna, and my son, Mr. Harsh. They all remain supportive to me. I am leaving this place with fond memories, lot of love and affection from all, dignity of my family intact, and my conscience clear. Before ending my speech, I seek your forgiveness for any harshness shown by me at any point of time. Thank you all once again. Jai Hind.
Now I seek the permission of the Honorable the Acting Chief Justice to place the proceedings on record and close the proceedings. Thank you, Your Lordship. The proceedings are closed. May I request you all to join in tea at the ground floor of the Chief Justice block, please.